The Chord Catalogue is a composition written by American composer Tom Johnson in 1985. It basically consists of all possible chords that you can play on the piano within the range of one octave. Now, as Tom himself says, in a way it's perhaps not so much a composition as a list of things, chords that he found. And its way of thinking is quite conceptual. It's not like traditional music. It's perhaps more related to the kind of conceptual minimal art that came out of the 60s in New York, such as, for example, the art of Sol LeWitt. And in fact, there are quite striking similarities between the Chord Catalogue and Sol LeWitt's famous sculpture, the incomplete open cubes. But of course, the same kind of structure works very differently as music. Now, to play the Chord Catalogue, you first play all possible 2-part combinations, then all possible 3-part combinations, then all possible 4-part combinations, etc. until you reach the one possible 13-part combination, which is all keys played at the same time, a cluster. Pretty easy to play. The other movements, you generate them using 3 simple rules. And I will explain how the rules work by playing the 4-part chords slowly. Now, the first rule is you always start with all voices in the lowest possible position. So with the 4-part chords, that's this chord, C, C sharp, D, E flat. That's the lowest possible position. The second rule is the lowest voice that can go up goes up a half step. And all lower voices go back to their starting position. Now, what does that mean? So going from this chord to the next, you find the lowest voice that can go up, and it's the E flat. It goes up to E. The lower voices go back to their starting position, but they already were in their starting position. So this is the next chord. Then, following the same logic, the lowest voice that can go up is the D, goes up to E flat. Then C sharp goes to D. Then C is the lowest voice, and it goes to C sharp. Now the lowest voice that can go up is the highest voice, again, and this is the E, and it has to go to F. And here there is a third rule, because if that happens, if the lowest voice that can go up a half step is in fact the highest voice, you make a little bit of a pause. So that way you generate phrases. And so I made this little pause, then my E goes up to the F, and these 3 notes go back to their starting position, just a half step lower, and what I get is this. And then by the same logic, pause, pause, etc. Now you can play the entire chord catalogue. Of course, the chord catalogue is a very systematic piece, very process-driven, so it's not very difficult to program a computer to play the chord catalogue, and actually to play it much faster than any human could do it, including me. But the way I see it, the computer is never going to have as much fun playing it as I do. Well, why don't I just play one phrase from the 6-part chords, and you can judge for yourself.